So we have a people picker person or group field that is actually multi-select. So we can see here that it allows multiple selections. I'm going to upload a different document called PowerApp's inventory. This one is Excel. And this time I will just choose two people's names. I'll choose Andrew Hess and Batman. I'll hit send. It's running in the background. Hit refresh. Here's my new PowerApp's inventory in the people picker field with Andrew Hess and Batman. Hey everyone, this is My SharePoint Questions and I am Andrew Hess. So today I had a question from a user and just let me show you. Let's see. This question is from Alan and he was saying it was an awesome video. Do you know how to update a multi-select combo field to accept multiple users from PowerAutomate to a document library? And I asked him a couple more questions. He said, thanks for responding. It's a multi-select combo box, which he's using as a people picker from PowerApps. And he's using the 365 connector, and he wants to send that metadata to a document library. And for his scenario, he wants to use PowerAutomate to do it. So right here, he says, send it through PowerAutomate. Since we're already using PowerAutomate to send the document to the document library, let's see if we can create what he's asking. So right now I have a very simple PowerApp. It's just an attachment and a button to send documents to SharePoint. So this SharePoint site that it is sending it to is called Water Project. So it's sending it here. So let's just go ahead and test it. So I'm going to attach a file and put something in there, right? So I put a file in there, send to SharePoint. We go to SharePoint, refresh. It pulls the file in there. So right now we have the basic part of the PowerApp. Now I have done this in previous PowerApps. If you want to check that out, feel free to. As the user was saying, Reza has done this too. And feel free to check out Reza's video also. I do recommend Reza. I have learned a lot from Reza. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put that at a multi-select field, or maybe a people picker. I think a people picker would work better in the library. So if we created a column and it's a person or group, we'll just call this people picker. So I created a column in SharePoint. It's a person or group. We want to make sure we allow multiple selections. There is a new message here, earlier versions. I have not seen this, so this is something new that I've learned. I don't believe this will stop us. So we're just going to allow multiple selections in the people picker and click OK. So let's refresh our data source. All right, so we'll refresh the documents. All right, we refreshed our document library. So now let's add the people picker. So he is using a combo box. And this combo box is using another data source called the Office 365. 365, there's a space in there. That's why I messed up. Office 365 users. And so we're going to add that connection in there. Now for our combo box, we're going to use the Office 365 users dot, I believe we're going to use search user, and then we're going to just, search term. I said team, but term. Search term. The search term is going to be, let's see, make sure that's combo box. It's combo box 2. I'm going to rename that to combo people. So this is actually combo people dot search, I believe, search text. And we'll just bring in the top 10. All right, so now in our fields on the left side, we're going to say the layouts is double. And we want to show the display name, secondary text is email, mail. and search field display name again. All right, so now if we go to our dropdown, obviously this is a dev environment, so I have some fake users in here. So here are my users. I have myself, and then I have a bunch of other fake users in here that I have added. All right, so right now, our SharePoint button runs a PowerAutomate, and it does some things in here to convert a picture or a file into a format that is readable by PowerAutomate, and that's converting it to JSON into binary. And I've done this in a previous video. All right, so if you want to see that, you can go check out my previous video. So this is the PowerAutomate. I'm going to refresh it. So I'm going to go out and back in to refresh it. In our PowerAutomate, when we select what field we want, we come down here to this gray box. I think you can see that. We're going to say see more, and then we're going to say ask in PowerApps. And that's going to populate the field in PowerApps. And so once we refresh, what I did was I deleted my PowerAutomate and re-added it. Now in the IntelliSense, you can see that it's asking for 3 different properties. So it's asking for a create file name, create file content, and the people picker claims. So for the people picker claims, we're going to do this one step at a time. First, I'm going to get this working for one user. Then we're going to try and get it working for multiple users. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pass in a text field because that's what it's looking for. It's not looking for a table here. It's looking for a text field. So I'm going to create a label, and it's going to use Concat, my cmbPeople.SelectedItems, and we're going to concatenate it with the mail. So that's the email. And we're going to concatenate it with a semicolon. All right, so let's go ahead and try with one person. So here, my label, I'm going to call this label emails. I'm going to pass in the label emails in my third property here. So label emails.text. So we'll pull in my name. So my name here, Andrew has my SharePoint questions. We're going to pull that in, and we're going to try and patch this software project template. So in my SharePoint, we can see I have nothing in the people picker field. I'm going to add a new file. We'll add the software project template, and we're going to send to SharePoint. And so PowerAutomate's going to run in the background. We'll go back to SharePoint. We have now populated the people picker with one person, right? So one person, we got it working. So what happens if we try 2 people? Let me just try. Let me try adding in a second person. So I'm adding in my personal email in here. And I'm going to hit send. And I'm guessing it's going to fail. So I did receive an error. And you notice right now, this probably could work with one person, but if there were multiple people, I believe it would need to look like, so we need the data to look like that. All right, so it took me a little bit to get this one, but I finally got it. So first we need to split this variable up and turn it into an array. So we're going to use a compose statement. And this compose statement is going to use an expression called split. So the split function is right here. So it's split, the text, and then the separator. So we're going to run split, and the text is going to be our column, the people picker claims, and then we're going to add a comma in here to say that's what we're going to split the text up by and turn it into an array. So we're going to do comma, single quote, the semicolon, single quote, and we're going to split that up. So our split statement now is going to split the field from PowerApps, and this should be a semicolon. We're going to split it by the semicolon that we get here in PowerApps. So you notice each one has a semicolon here, And the second one also has a semicolon. All right, so now that we've turned that into an array, what we want to do is what's called a select statement. So we want to convert it back into a claims, I believe this is JSON, but what we're doing is we're going to do a select statement. And the select statement is going to use the outputs of the compose. And we want it to look like this. So claims, and then the value here is actually going to be what's called item. And we're going to pull item in there. And finally, after that, we're going to pull that into the people picker claims, and we're going to put the output in there. All right, so the output of the select statement, I'm just going to hit save. And now we're going to go to PowerApps. Now in PowerApps, I have 3 names in here. I have my name in there twice and then Batman. We're going to upload a new file. So I'm going to do the software project template. We'll upload that and hit send, and it's going to send this dropdown. So we hit send, it runs in the background. We hit refresh. Our people picker field is now selected 3 people. So let's look at the PowerAutomate, how it ran. So in our update properties, what we really wanted was a format like this. So we're in an array, and then it does claims, and then one person's name, claims, and then the next person's name, and then claims again. So let's just take one more example. Let's try one more time. I'm going to upload a different document called PowerApps Inventory. This one is Excel. And this time I will just choose 2 people's names. I'll choose Andrew Hess and Batman. I'll hit send. It's running in the background. Hit refresh. Here's my new inventory, Excel, with Andrew and Batman. So the trick is to pull that string out. So this is our input, is to pull the string out and then convert it into an array. So then it knows that there's multiple properties there. And then once we convert the array, we then convert it into a JSON that can be read as claims. So this is like what we want the most. We want it to look like this. You can see that that is a JSON format. And then once we have it in that format, we just put it in our update properties, and we can update directly to our SharePoint list. I just want to say thank you to Alan. I appreciate the question. If anyone else has any questions, feel free to ask. I love the questions. This helps me keep creating videos. And actually, I love doing this. I love problem solving. That's why it's my job. So thank you guys for watching. Feel free to ask more questions. I don't mind Power Apps, PowerAutomate, Microsoft Project, Excel, anything in the Microsoft world. I don't mind any questions. I'm not just a Power Apps guy. I do all kinds of things. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.